with Matt, the Deering Acting Studio podcast, where we discuss the connection between life and acting.
All righty, good morning, everybody.
Woo!
This is the Deering Acting Studio podcast, and we do discuss the connection between life and acting.
These are facts, Joey Sweeney facts.
Yeah.
Yo, today we got a dope guest on.
I know this, Joey. I do know this thing.
He's the realest of guests, and Brian claims that they have a very, very strong friendship.
We are very, very strong friends. I freaking love this guy. Can I do it?
Sure, you can drop down the knowledge, Brian. I'm not gonna take something like that from you.
Drum roll, give him a drum roll.
All right,
here
hit
we
this
go.
drum roll, ladies
All right,
and
stand
gentlemen.
by. Hold on, I'm gonna give him some music too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Raymond! What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Quite the intro. I love it.
Dude, it is so good to see your face.
Likewise, man. First of all, let me tell you guys, this is so early. I don't know what happened.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't wake up this early. I actually just went to bed.
That is more of a standard response than you would expect. So,
I feel like you got to make one of those cartoon videos about having to get up early for this show.
Yeah.
that would
Man,
be
say no
great.
more. I'm about to do that, then.
Dude, your
Oh, I still have
videos
my alarm going off. Hold on, let me stop it.
Your videos are hilarious.
Oh, man, you and Brian must be friends if your alarm's going off in the middle of the show.
Hey! Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I feel you, bro.
man.
I feel you. I feel the pain of this morning thing.
Oh,
I'm no Matt Deering.
Thank you, guys.
So tell us about you, man. I mean, we should tell our audience a little bit about you. So you're a student here at Deering Acting Studio. Did some time with Chaos Comedy.
Oh, man.
And now you're like it's kind of big time, you
You're
know?
like a boss.
He's
I
got
don't know, not quite big time yet. You know, I'm trying to get there, of course.
Yeah.
the
No,
te-
yeah,
the-
I love the time working with Chaos Comedy, going down to the Deering Acting Studio, taking the classes there. You guys really helped jumpstart, at least getting me ready for LA anyway.
Yeah, sure. So what was it about our place for you? Because I know, you know, everyone's got a different story here when they come through. And I always have this, I got this like, I don't know, I guess it's a God thing, but I have this feeling that everybody gets drawn to our place for a reason. So what was it along your stop here that you think you kind of picked up? Was it just was it like confidence to just surge forward, or?
Yeah, it was really just to try to be like ready to be a professional actor, really, because I had no like professional training or anything like that. And Ruth Layton was like the first agent to ever sign me out there. So she suggested you guys, of course. But I was like, yeah. And I had heard of you guys before. I'm trying to think of when, man. This was so long ago. But yeah, then I was like, yo, look at this studio. I went inside, I like took the tour and everything. I was like, yo, this is legit. And I was like, they must know what they're talking about. So let me definitely go
Smoke
here.
and mirrors, baby. Smoke and mirrors.
yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a pain point because we definitely were a word of mouth business, but we're working our way out of that. We're trying to dig our hole.
Here's the problem. We have no idea how to grow our audience.
Dude, we
online.
got
Which is
no
why we
idea.
got you here, man.
But apparently you got no problem with that. I mean, with all these videos, you got plenty of followers.
Yeah, and you know, before we hit that, I really want to throw down real quick. When he first was going with us and we were doing Chaos, you even mentioned doing an elementary school and going and like doing a show for them. Like, I remember we were doing Chaos shows and stuff, and you started talking about doing these sketches with it was your brother, right?
Yeah, me and my brother.
Like, I just remember the sort of the birth of that. Like, you just kind of brainstorming ideas, and you like talking about like, man, I don't know, like my brother's looking at getting like a camera and like getting this stuff started. And so I just think that's super cool. And so before we jump into like talking about growing it, would you mind sharing that sort of beginning dream part? You guys kind of starting about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So me and my brother, we had always like our whole lives, we had my dad was always like, he had a camera, and he would always have us making little home videos and everything, and little home movies and whatnot. So we'd always done that. We'd always loved doing it. But then, during that time when I was attending Chaos Comedy, me and my brother were talking about getting a DSLR camera. So this was like, we're transitioning from like tapes at the time. We were like, we gotta get a digital camera.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that you even mentioned that, because man, that's crazy. Yeah, so we were talking about that, and we wanted to start filming things that looked more like a movie. We had no clue what we were doing, and I actually still have that camera.
Oh, dang.
I love it.
In the back there, but yeah. So we ended up purchasing it and just shooting our little YouTube videos and just uploading them, just because we had to get that creativity out there.
Well, thank you for sharing, because I'll tell you, I guarantee that story inspires all the people listening, all of our students and whatnot. But you inspired Mr. Brian Sweeney this morning, because he came over. He goes, he's just like you and I. He makes videos with his brother, and I was like, we don't make videos together. And he was like, yeah, but we should. So you have an impact.
Should, man. You guys definitely should. First of all, I haven't seen you in years, man. You grew up so much.
Bro, I'm going to be real with you. I have no clue who you are until
That's
Brian showed me your
hilarious.
videos. So you probably remember like 4-foot Joey Sweeney with the crooked teeth.
You were little. You were small. Like, it was in passing. Don't worry, we weren't homies or anything. But I don't. It's not like you were kicking it every day, you and I, but I remember you.
Yeah, I was a little bit of an orphan child, so I kind of went from place to place, and every now and then I would attach myself to Matt or Brian's hip and just follow them wherever they went. So that explains a lot.
Yeah, so I think Brian was making the TikTok videos, and we have proof of him saying he didn't want Joey in his video because
he
Joey
doesn't pull well.
Joey doesn't pull well, he says.
Oh, really?
Look at that reaction.
Yeah, I was being a jerk.
And so now, so then Joey starts putting up these funny TikTok videos after Brian quits on it for a little bit, and Joey starts blowing up with his sports videos. So
yeah, I mean,
hilarious.
I think you guys will be better together. Let's just put it that way.
For sure.
We'll marry it together.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like it's so funny because I went on there to make sports content. I've always wanted to do that, and I wasn't gonna do it. I was planning on doing fantasy videos, and then I saw this girl on TikTok. And
it's always a girl. It's
Joey's
always
dream
a girl,
girl,
right?
by the way.
It's
Dream
always
girl.
a girl that gets you to do something.
She's like a pretty young girl, and she's a Cardinals fan, like obsessed. So he's like, she's my girl.
That's all it takes.
So that's the thing is I saw her and she's making Cardinals content, and I'm like, okay, cool. So people actually do that. And I'm gonna start doing that. and one of the teens asked during the virtual class last night, they were like, why you only make sports content? I was like, I own the hashtag AZ Cardinals on TikTok. Like that's pretty cool. Like it's so much fun.
So Matt, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you right now?
30.
30 years old, and you started when you were 5.
Yes.
Okay. And so he's doing sketches since he was 5. He's now 30. And we talk about this a lot, the idea of 10,000 hours, and you're probably not even there yet, I mean, because it's not like you were doing it consistently since the age of 5. But this whole thing really takes work and consistency and whatnot. So we're so happy for you and like where you're at, and we see a lot of obviously great things coming in your future. But I always want to stop and tell people, things that look like they happen overnight never do. There's always like a deep story behind it, and there was always some risk involved, and there was always like a first time you had to start and buy the first camera and put out the first stuff that probably wasn't very good yet, and and just the failure. Success comes from failure. So when I saw the 5-year-old on your sheet there, like I started when I was 5, I'm like, that's a cool story. Just still banging away at the same like funny sketches and home movies, and now all of a sudden people are just paying attention. That's kind of the big difference. So it's very cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's the main thing with me. Is, like you said, I wish I'd done it consistently since 5 years old. Who knows where I'd be? But
right, I know.
Life along the way happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you guys.
And for our kid students out there, you know, there's no you're never too young to start, really, you know. And we do have a lot of kids that take our program. I mean, my kids even, they've already got their own podcast, and I'm like, hey, kids, be more consistent.
I wish we had this technology when I was a kid. Like nowadays, like you can literally film everything. I mean, that's what I do. I'll film it on my phone. Sometimes I'll make a rough cut on my phone because I have the editing software. I'll make a rough cut there and then transfer it over to my laptop and do the finished cuts because I use Adobe Premiere. So I wish I had this technology when I was younger.
For sure. So I got a question, jumping just kind of out of this. So when you are being consistent and doing this, like, I'd love to get some tips from you on just sort of building the audience. I'm sure you've learned little tips and tricks along the way. So like for this show, we even started this in the beginning of quarantine, literally to just help people, to get out there and like give people advice and especially encouragement. It was like right when Corona had started, and there were a lot of people who were just at home and were feeling really down. And so we were like, let's just do a show. Let's just start a show and get it out. And same idea. First episode, total trash. I mean, like, we were starting off, we're like, are we live right now? Like, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell. Like, I don't know. And like, there's all this stuff, and we've slowly started building it up, and we'll keep doing that. And we're being consistent and starting to like get awesome guests here like you. So like, we're pushing. But then you have sometimes like 10 viewers, right?
Yeah.
And so there's like, I'm sure there's little tips and tricks that you can teach people to help them if they're staying consistent and building up their product. Like, what are some little things you could tell them to help them out, help us out?
Okay, so a lot of things, well, what I've just known that works for me. First of all, the one thing I always tell everybody, anytime they ask about wanting to grow an audience online, if you feel like you're forcing it, then you're doing it wrong. If it comes natural to you and it's fun, it seems like you guys have fun. Obviously, all you guys have great rapport with each other. You know, so it will come more naturally. So it's easier to push out content, because the way I've noticed it always starts out really good, right? It starts out and you're like, this is what I want to do. Like, let's go. Then you realize, oh man, like, am I doing it right? Oh, what's wrong here? What's going on? And then you still got a few ideas you want to keep going. Then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've been doing this for this long and I still don't have any viewers or no one's watching, like, and then you kind of lose encouragement. But the one thing that's going to keep you going is the passion you have for it. And then if it's easy to do it because it just comes so natural, right? So you guys sitting together doing a podcast, that's probably super natural. So that can be very easy for you guys to put out an episode when you really don't feel like doing it, when morale might be low, like a pandemic hitting and everything's shutting down, but your rapport and the fact that it's easy for you guys to sit down and just bounce ideas off each other or just talk, you can still keep the content going, because consistency is the main thing.
Sure.
So do you have a release day for your sketches? Do you try to do like same day, same time? Is that something that is important on your end?
Yeah. So along with the consistency is I'll set a schedule for myself. What I try to do is I have a couple different series going right now. One is called Mr. KYA on YouTube, and I'm on to season 2 now, which my goal is to drop an episode every Friday. Okay. I'm behind schedule right now because the smoke in California like messed me up. I got sick from it and I couldn't film outside for like a week and a half. But I try to drop that every Friday. And then I have a Halloween horror party series that I do on YouTube, which I drop every Sunday. And then the last episode I plan on dropping Halloween Day, so Saturday on Halloween. But anyway, yeah, you set your schedule and then always do your best to drop on the days you set and the time you set, and the consistency and just sticking with that. And then you also asked, you asked another question, but it led me to say, try to include the audience as best you can. Like that's the one thing I always try to do. At the end of my Halloween horror party episodes, I have the audience decide what happens. So I give them a couple options.
Nice.
Yeah, and then they can choose which route. And I have my own ideas. Like I know which way I want the episode to go, but they might not choose it. And so then it's like, all right, well, when I film, now I'm going to film the option they chose because, so you never really know which way to go. It keeps it fresh.
I
and
love that.
It keeps them feeling involved. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Brian did an exercise like that with our improv class where we've been working through the improvised play. And so he's been having our students like read plays and work on play intros and stuff. So him and Matt with the virtual, Brian with the in person, they were having people work through plays, and
Nice.
they were like, all right, cool. So write a play intro and the first 2 lines, and then we'll improv from there. Which I thought that was cool as is, right? And then Brian's like, cool, hand your sheet to someone else. Now these 2 are gonna do your play, and then you watch it play out, and you wrote it, and you're like, okay, I did not see it going that way. What? And that's so interesting because
awesome.
that's like the heart of improv, right?
Yeah.
And so then that puts you on the spot where it really shows your improv skills, because you're like, okay, cool. So I wrote it, but I did not expect it to go this way. Now I got to improvise from there. Like, that's so cool. That keeps it so raw. I love it.
You know, Matt,
That's
and
such a dope concept.
and you may not know all the ins and outs here of YouTube, and we don't expect you to, but for whatever you do know, you know, we'll ask. So for instance, for us, we've got so much going on, you know, and we put up a ton of content, honestly, like a ton. And sometimes it's in different areas. You know, we'll have our comedy show, we've got the morning show, we've got different classes, like we have all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, a lot of personal development stuff. So one of the questions is, would we do ourselves a favor to diversify and like start different channels that are like that channel is specific to one thing, or like put everything under that same Deering Acting Studio umbrella, and then just have different playlists like we have now?
And this is a no pressure situation. This is just your opinion. That's a big question.
Right. But if we are successful or not, we will blame you.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's cool. I'll take that. I can handle that part.
Okay, all right, cool.
Now, well, what I would say, what my reps tell me is to just do your different playlists. So if you guys are already doing different playlists, the way they broke it down to me is they said, like, your YouTube is your network. So like you know how you'll watch something on CW, and one show might be a comedy, and then the next thing might be a drama, right? It's not all under the same category because that's their network. So your YouTube is your network, and every playlist you have is its own thing, so people can watch that. And that's what my reps told me. So that's what I found to work is just, you know, I have a playlist which is me telling stories, right? And that one, not too many people watch it. Like, not as many people watch that as they do like my KYA series or my Halloween series, because it's different, but it has its own audience that likes that. So, you know, it's just its own different series, I guess. But yeah.
Boom, Matthew over here dropping
Yeah.
some knowledge and giving some love to the reps over there.
Yeah. No, I love that, and that's lucky that we're already doing that. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
we can obviously do it better, but that's cool.
I got another one for him.
Yeah, hit it.
So we use
Okay.
subtitles, like we just recently started using for our YouTube and stuff to try and get out there more, like some tools with SEO, and this like YouTube Buddy and stuff like that, like where you're like using something to help you target specific search words that are hopefully like bring people in. But Matt and I were even talking about maybe like looking more at like our actual audience and not worrying less, like, because sometimes you can spend a lot of time trying to find the right words to describe something, right? What's your thought on that? Is that something that you spend a lot of time on, or is it like you kind of trust it to do what it's going to do?
Yeah, honestly, you can mess yourself up mentally worrying too much about it. That's what I found. Guys, listen, I created my YouTube and this specific YouTube. I've always had a YouTube account. I've let some die, you know, I've had other ones. But anyway, this one I created in 2016, and I was doing sketches on Instagram. My Instagram started taking off, but it wasn't transferring over to YouTube, right? So my YouTube still wasn't growing, and I just kept posting there. And for the longest time, I was posting content for the same 30 people, like over and over. But I was like, you know what? Like, they rock with this, and eventually, like, something will happen. Like, I'll just keep going. And that literally, like I said, the consistency and staying in your, you know, like what you love doing and what comes naturally. And then it just happens. Like, the YouTube also has their own algorithm, which I'm trying to get down. But the more consistent you are and sticking to your brand and posting, you'll eventually fall into their algorithm. like I said, I created mine in 2016. My YouTube, I didn't start seeing any sort of a difference until this year. So
yeah, that was kind of my instinct on it. I was thinking like, you know, we were spending all this time on SEO, and I'm going, you know, that's cool and all, and we should do a little bit of that. But for the main thing, it's like we have a few super fans, and I'm like, I want to make sure that we are delivering to them exactly what they want, and I'd much rather the title, you know, be attractive to those few people that are super loyal to us right now than than like almost selling out, trying to get a bunch of people with a catchy title, and like tailoring our you know what we do to just get views versus like, hey, why don't we keep feeding the fans exactly what they want and trust that if they love it, there will be more people out there that love it and will share it and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, there was this guy that came in.
You guys do like audition tips on there, right? I've seen that on your YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I know that there's a whole like audience for that too. Like since I came out here and you know really trying to get going in the acting world when I first moved out here, like YouTube was my savior because I couldn't afford classes, and so you look for stuff like that online. Like what acting studios are giving that information out there to help people get the ball rolling. You know, you guys could even do just like how to write a sketch, you know, how to write a 3-minute sketch. I did one of those on my YouTube, again, back when I was doing it for only 30 people. And that's one of the videos that recently started taking off. I did how to write a 1-minute comedic sketch. And I used a formula that I use for, you know, creating viral sketches or whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't start, like I said, it didn't start taking off until like recently. I did that video like 3 years ago.
Nice.
But you know, like there's an audience for that. So just remember there's an audience for it and really cater to them. And then YouTube, they have the metrics on there. I don't know if you guys have access to your video metrics and everything yet through YouTube Studio. You guys have that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Yeah, definitely pay attention to that. And they'll let you know like your audience interest in this video is lower than usual by 38%. And it could be your thumbnail. Something as simple as your thumbnail, people might not want to click it.
Right.
But if you have a thumbnail that you would click, that you find interesting, then you know you'll probably find more people will click it when YouTube suggests it to them.
Nice. Awesome. I got another one. All right.
I do too. I have a creative one. So why don't you go first?
All right. Mine is just plainly, I was so cool what you were doing at the beginning before the show, and I got a bunch of people in here came straight from your TikTok live, right?
Yes.
So that's awesome. That's so sick. So
are we live on TikTok right now?
we can't be because he's on his phone now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
But ahead of time, he was like, I'm sure talking to people and sending them this way. And so there were a bunch of people that were just like, yeah, I'm over here from Dad's TikTok, you know? And so there's
if you are over here from Matt's TikTok, we want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel because we are Matt endorsed here. So all right.
Yeah.
I put you guys' link in my bio on TikTok.
Oh, dude, that's so
gosh.
nice. What a nice guy.
Wow.
Dude, he's the man.
Dang, I mean, we should really just hit the shameless plug button for Matt because he's
We
really
should.
plugging us.
And I want to say, like, I don't care what you say, Brian. He's definitely, there's more to him than just his dimples.
It's just there's a lot there.
All right, here we go. Can we interrupt you, Brian?
Sure, yeah.
It's time now for Brian Sweeney's Shameless Plugs.
Shameless plug.
This broadcast is interrupting me for me. Yo, shameless plug. You got to check out my bro on all of his content. It's Matthew Raymond _. You can find him on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, pretty much anywhere where there is anything. Facebook. The Facebook is Facebook /MRG Comedy. And then that's the same for the YouTube. YouTube, we got / and then /C/ Matthew Raymond. But dude, I just love watching all your videos, and we talked about this already, but the thing that I love so much is there's just so many different styles. Like, you can find some form of comedy that you could fall in love with. I personally am a huge fan of your superhero ones and the girlfriend ones. Those ones just crack me up. So yeah, definitely check out all of his stuff. It's so awesome. And really, I'll shameless plug Matt for a second. Matt Deering over here. he talks about all the things that Matt talks about in Acting Is My Day Job, which is
Content creation.
exactly that. Content creation. Make your own success. Make your own success by doing what you love and being consistent at it. And acting can be your day job and will be your day job.
Do we have some of Matt's fans on online right now?
I mean,
Do we have someone we can talk to right now live?
talk to you live right now. Sure.
All right, so I'm just gonna send this out there because I know there's a delay on YouTube. So if you're watching, you're connected to Matthew's TikTok or any of his channels. Be the first one to message on our YouTube right now live, and we will give you one of these books full free.
You gotta say, I want that book. Yeah, because then we know, like, okay, that's the comment. That's the first one.
I want that book.
Yeah,
I want that book. All right,
and that should be a hashtag.
What if I say it?
all right. Yeah,
you get one also.
Matt, I'll be sending you one autographed copy right to you.
Oh, dang!
Yeah, of course.
Let's go.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh man,
We're doing the giveaways. All right, so I'm loving the one show, the one with the cartoons. Which one is that?
Okay, so what I've done now lately is I've infused just about all of my videos I've added cartoon characters in them now.
Okay.
So now it's like pretty much all of them you'll see some random cartoon characters thrown in.
What's the one that you were just showing me yesterday?
Oh, dude, I was
the
all about the
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A one.
Yeah,
that was wonderful.
So
That
what?
was so wonderful.
So what show is that? What is that called?
Okay, so that's my drive-through struggles series.
So I love your relationship you have with your son in that like
Tyrone,
it's so funny. Where did you get that? Do you have kids?
No, I don't have any kids.
Oh man.
I just came up with the idea at pretty much the start of quarantine because I couldn't film with any of my friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to create a whole family.
I'm gonna make my friends.
Dude, I was dying. I do that because I do that already, like in life, because I've got a 1.5-year-old, and with all my kids, I gave him a little voice. I like my dog's got a voice, and I'll just have full conversations with him in front of people because to me it's hilarious, and it reminded me of that,
great.
dude. Oh my gosh, your relationship with your fake son drives me crazy. I'm like, it's so funny.
When my real dad come back, he gonna kick your arse.
I just want a hamburger.
I always think like what a bad step kid would do. Like you pull up to a chicken place and they're like, oh, welcome to chicken. He's like, I want a hamburger.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Like, so I always think of
why
like
would
some
you
little.
say that?
Yeah.
And you're so nice too. Like you like hold off getting mad at him for a really long time.
Yo, something super cool that I just love about that. I'm literally gonna talk about it in our film class when we get back here in 2 weeks, especially to the teenagers. But I love that it's all you just reacting to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect example of like way to grow your acting. You know, people sometimes we make excuses like, oh, I don't have someone to work off of or whatever. Like same deal happens to you. Like, oh, I can't go film with my friends. You're like, cool, I'll just film with myself. And I'll get better, and I'll like imagine things. And
My
like,
imaginary friends.
Dude, yeah,
That's what I was about to say. It's great.
Yeah.
You when you can't hang with the friends, you gotta create imaginary ones. That's how it goes.
Exactly. And people look at you crazy. I was filming yesterday in this neighborhood in Burbank, and I just needed a random neighborhood to act like I'm changing a tire. I posted the video this morning, but I'm out there talking to myself outside, and this family walks by me, and they're just staring at me. And it's so embarrassing, but I had to keep it going. I think I was talking like the grandmother at the point. I was doing like the old Marjorie's voice. So I'm out there, and I was like, sorry, I've been a little gassy. That was the exact line as this family walks by, and I was like,
that's good. You know,
man.
that could save your life if you were going through a bad neighborhood and you just need just start talking to just do one of your sketches. I was like, I'm not gonna mess with that guy. He's crazy.
He's crazy.
Oh my goodness. So great.
All right, cool. So where are we at? Did we get somebody online chatting with us yet?
Not yet, no.
All right, we'll get that. We'll get that going.
But his brother Mark's in there, so that's cool.
Hey, all right, all right.
What up,
I
Mark?
saw my brother in there.
Hey.
So Matt, let's wrap up this show. What other kind of advice do you have for us or for other people out there? And we could even separate those two things. So,
Okay.
If you're newer and you're starting off and you want to get going with this stuff, what's your big piece of advice?
All right, man. I feel like I could go for days. All right, but hold on. Let me just think. What I would say is find what you love doing. Like I told you guys, what comes natural to you, and then once you figure it out, try to find a way to put a twist on it. Like find out how you can make it so different that nobody can say, "Oh, you took that from this person." Because a lot of times people will try to be like, "Oh, you trying to copy this person or whatever." But if you twist it so much, it's like people can't. Like, no, there's no way. You know, some people will make references to shows or things you've never even heard of, but it's because there's so much content out there now that there's the likelihood of you just putting up a camera and filming something and it's your first thought, it could have already been done, you know, maybe in the 90s. And so try to figure out a way to put a twist. And I even do that with my sketches. I call it like, I go 6 levels deep, right? So I'll think of a sketch idea and then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go another level deeper on that. What else can I add to it? And I try to get to 6. I never really get to 6 additions, but by the time you get to like 3, it's such a twisted, weird, new, fresh take on that concept that it's already different enough. Like you're good.
I'm gonna just call you the improv man from now on, because pretty much everything you've given us so far is like, yeah, let's just improvise, man. I just go. I just hit roll and I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, so
that Groundlings, that chaos comedy and that Groundlings training there.
Yeah. So let's talk about that idea of six levels deep. Is that like an A to C type concept, where you're like you come up with the idea and then you're trying to get away from the idea, or you're just trying to like deepen it, or you said put a twist on it? Like I'd love to actually try to do that right now so that we really understand what's going on.
Hey.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
So let's come up with your next sketch idea, and we'll film the sketch here when you come in town. I believe we're gonna offer you our studio, is what I was told.
Oh man.
Oh, dang.
Man.
That's what I heard.
A good time if I get all those tools available to me.
Yeah, man. You mentioned something about like doing a show, live show, like stuff like that. 100%.
Yeah. When you come in town, we will host you for sure.
Yes.
I would love to. I would love to. Seriously.
This is a little bit of a role reversal, because right now you get to play acting coach. So go ahead.
Yeah, hit it
You
up.
have the floor. You have 3 students here. Go ahead.
Man, hold on. Let me tell you how weird this is. When I first started going to the Daring Acting Studio, when Matt would walk in, everybody was like, "Oh, like." So to me, it's like, "Oh shoot!" Like you're gonna ask me for something?
Okay.
You're Matt Daring, bro. Like you don't need to know anything.
I need to know so many things. But I also was gonna tell you too. What's awesome is the first thing I said when I saw the Superman sketch is I was like, "Oh, dude, that's so good. I wish I could have directed that." Because I had ideas, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh man, I have these ideas, like where we could take a second out here and like, because that's how my brain works. My brain goes like whenever Joey shows me something really good,
Every time.
I go, oh dude, let's make it better.
Bro, I had to learn to love it, but at first I was like, man, this man never likes my videos. He's always having me redo them.
I love it.
All right, so so what's our sketch? Okay, so we got the 4 of us. We need a sketch idea. All right.
Okay. All right.
This is like right on the spot, and guys, you don't get to sit back. This is a 4-person deal right now.
Yeah.
Ready to rock.
Bro, I've never been so excited in my life.
I'm just waiting for director Matt over here.
Okay, so the sketch is a podcast show. Okay. I'm brainstorming here, and Brian's gonna play our awkward person, somebody who's just
like
always
every time it's
awkward,
typecast,
and maybe like overly in love with the male guest that's uncomfortably.
Typecast.
Oh man.
All right, so that's gonna be our premise. Okay, so we're 1 deep here.
So the way I like to do it then is if he's gonna be super like weird and off the wall, then probably the rest of us are going to be playing it straight.
Right.
So, because I find like, obviously, you guys know that the comedy is in like the real. So we'll play it straight, and he will just be so weird.
Right.
So, okay.
So is the next level deep then gonna be to continue to make Brian more weird?
Yeah, try to make him as literally as weird as possible. Like, what's the weirdest thing he could possibly do? Like, does he just start like, man? See, okay, so the way I'll do it is I'll literally go so far off, and then I gotta pull myself back. I'm like, all right, hold on, let's not get too crazy weird. Like is he just in euphoria? Almost like you guys mentioned my chicken episode sketch, but you said he's in love with the guest. So is he just suddenly just like, oh, is he just like,
yeah, no, he definitely
is feeling so good at everything the guy says.
Yeah, he's definitely like that for sure. For sure. Okay, so that's too deep. I'm thinking maybe he's got like some Chick-fil-A nuggets or something here, and he's dipping the nuggets in like barbecue sauce with his no fingers. It makes it even better, and getting a lot of barbecue on his hands.
Okay, so then what I'll try to do is how can we heighten the stakes? So how can we take the stakes up now? So we got a weird character. He's already doing weird stuff. Now let's heighten the stakes.
Okay, so
he needs somebody to lick his nubs because there's too much barbecue sauce on there.
Yeah. Or he's.
But what happens if they don't then?
Yeah.
So now if someone doesn't, what happens to him?
Man, he's a good director.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What happens to Brian if nobody licks off the barbecue from his fingers?
He screams.
That's not bad enough.
We can make it even crazier.
Or if he's what if he
dumps a little water on it?
What if he's using the nuggets and the barbecue sauce to like flirt with the guest? So he's like rubbing it on himself and doing different things. And maybe it could be the heightened thing is like this guest is everything for the show. You know, like if we blow it with this guest, like, you know, we're gonna be like we have no show. Like this is how we get syndicated. What's that?
Now that's how we can intro it, right? So the start of the sketch would be like, hey man, like you heighten the stakes immediately for him. Do not blow it. Make him love you at all costs.
This is the biggest guest we've ever had.
By the end of the sketch, he will be a fully cooked rotisserie chicken sitting right there.
I love that.
And that's how we get the guest to like us, because he's like, that's pretty good.
By the end, the guest loves him. He did everything he could, and that's how my brain works. So now we get it from the stakes are heightened. It's a really intense scene, shot very cinematic, 24 frames. You know what I mean? Like 50 millimeter lens, whatever. We make it look like a movie. Yeah. Intense music in the background, everything. And you're putting the pressure on him, like, do not mess this up. Right. He has to love you at all costs. And then, like, think of whatever he loves and you be that. Don't mess this up, right? So he knows, and talking, the guest is like, man, I love chicken, blah, blah, in passing. Now, Brian's character is going to take that and be like, okay. And suddenly he's doing weird stuff, like putting sauce on himself. And then we gradually make him become a fully cooked rotisserie chicken. That's how Matt's sketches would go anyway.
There we go. And you're right. I think we ended up going about 4 or 5 deep there. But we definitely got ourselves to some place that we went to the weird. Mm-hmm. And we talk about this in class. So if you're watching and you're in the improv class, the idea here is we take a weird and we play the game of that weird. So we sit on the one thing. Everybody else has got to bring the normal, because we have to say, hey, like this actually can exist in this world. So we create this fake world, and then we have to ground it in something that's real. And then we have to go, okay, if this is true, what else is true? So if this idea could happen, then what else could happen along those lines? Rather than going to something else weird, like making Joey weird or me weird also, we'd rather ground this idea and then heighten the one thing. So that's that idea of how you're kind of formulating an improv scene or a sketch is to grab that idea. That's very cool. Thank you for the lesson, sir. That was awesome.
No, I appreciate it. Now, we're given some time. I guarantee I can come up with a much better one by the time I'm out there.
You better. Yeah, I'm expecting it. Because you know, by the time you're here, someone will have already done this sketch, you know.
Oh, perfect. I would love to see it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would love to see it.
It's a solid sketch idea. I mean, you just imagine we've got who do you? All right, you can cast anybody in the world, okay?
Oh.
Who do you cast for Brian Sweeney in this sketch?
Oh, he's not gonna play.
No. I'm just saying in a hypothetical world. Let's just say we were in a brainstorming session and this is like SNL or something, right? And it's like you could cast anybody for this, okay? And then there's the other characters. So you've got you've got like your SNL alumni that are playing the straight man.
Okay.
Who's that?
And then the person who's gonna be heightened up, the wild one, like taking it to the next level, which obviously is Brian's character. And I'm gonna cast. I love Jim Carrey. He's my favorite of all time.
Oh my God! What a perfect cast.
I was thinking, and that's a good call. But I was thinking, like, even as a celebrity guest coming in, imagine Steve Buscemi playing that role.
Yo, that would be priceless. That would be hilarious.
Watching him start normal and get weirder and weirder and weirder.
The audience is just watching Brian eat his apples in a creepy way.
Oh, so it's like a normal day around here. Okay.
Yeah. I
Cool.
mean, I'm gonna come out here and say I was eating on a show yesterday, and after the show, we were like, "Yo, you cannot eat on this show." And then I hear like a bag open next to me, and it's just Brian crunching
The
down on
difference
some
is I
apples.
was doing it as a joke to heighten the chicken nugget thing.
Yeah, but this isn't a sketch.
There.
I was making it a sketch right in that moment.
Yeah, dude.
Look, he's getting into character. You
That's
see
right.
this?
That's exactly
This is method acting.
Man, if you haven't getting in the character until you get here, you better get here quick, because I live with him, so this is a big deal.
Well, it's nothing but a 6-hour drive, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Matt, we are so grateful that you came on the show today. Thank you so much. And I gotta tell you,
guys having me.
talking about doing something right. I mean, we've been doing this for a while now, and we're just so grateful that someone like you, is on our show. I mean, that doesn't happen all the time. So, and we went from was it Tyler Harris was on the show? Mm-hmm. Her publicist reached out, and we were kind of blown away by that. Like literally, they found us, and we're like, oh wow, that's really cool. And so there's a testament to people like being attracted to the show and helping us help other people. It's very cool. So we are just very, very thrilled and so grateful that you're on the show here. Joey's got he's gonna show everybody. Are you still you're still there,
he's
Joey?
still there. I'm about to split screen him so you can see him and his content at the same time. Give me 1 second.
Joey, that's impressive, bro. Look at you.
I was really hoping that I would have like 15 more seconds of stalling.
Sorry, bro.
I know you
15
weren't
seconds
stalling, but then I was like, all right, I can use this as
You know what it is?
stalling.
It's that whole full screen thing you do. It slows you down.
It's true. I'm not gonna lie, it does.
That's
But
okay.
I prefer looking at a full screen.
Yeah.
Um,
No, so Joey's
no, I
gonna
appreciate
put up
you
your
guys having me
YouTube.
on, though.
Yeah. No, dude, it's awesome, man. And like when Brian was telling me how much you'd blown up and stuff, I was like, yes. I mean, nothing makes me happier than when one of our students just is taking what we talk about and then just like grinding it. And like you said, put your own spin on it. I mean, it's I always believe it's never my idea. Like I don't want to. I'm not telling you the way to do it. I would just go on, hey, let me help. If something's a little off, I'm going to give you the direction. I'm going to say, hey, this doesn't feel right. Here are a couple ideas. But I always think that your idea is probably better than mine. But I can usually hear when it's off. Almost like a musician can hear a note that's off. So when I'm coaching, I listen for those little things. And like even when I watch like sketches, I'm like, there's a moment right there. We could have squeezed an extra laugh out of that little second right there. That's kind of one of my giftings that I've worked really hard on. So to see you go next level with this stuff is just, it's so very cool.
And I just
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna throw out there, dude, and I'm just very grateful for just again the friendship and a lot of people. You start doing things and getting to a certain place, and you forget where your foundations are, and you forget like where you came from, and we're just very grateful for that. And I know like even all the way back, you went all the way back to being 5 and to your family and to your brother, and those kind of things are things that when people start getting more views and getting more things, we've seen it before. Like all of a sudden they disappear, and it's like they forget you exist. And so it just means a lot, and it shows a lot about your integrity and who you are as a person. And I think especially for our teenagers and for the people rising up, like it's an inspiration to them to see that. And I know I'm very thankful, especially.
Yeah, and not to pretend like there wasn't a journey involved. Like
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
Matt knows where he came from. I mean, he was born in this studio.
I was conceived.
It was a crazy story that we'll talk about later.
Six
But
deep.
All right,
No, I
so
appreciate it, guys. Listen, I will always rock with the Daring Acting Studio. Like, whatever you guys do, like, I'll always rock with you guys. So I appreciate it for sure.
well, good man, and we'll keep lifting you up as well, 100%. All right, go ahead, Joey.
We got that split
all
screen.
right, so yeah, this is the split screen. You got Matthew Raymond over here live on the Zoom, but this is his YouTube
Hey.
channel. He's got some cartoons in the background, but it looks like those are cutouts of himself. So that's hilarious. He's got 78.9 thousand subscribers, so really successful. Here's his Halloween party segment that he was talking about earlier. As you can see, you got your playlists over here. He's got it all categorized out for you. So make sure that you show out on his profile, and go ahead and throw him a subscribe if you haven't. And also, I just want to remind our Chaos players watching that this man is a Chaos Comedy alum, and he's doing it the right way. And we talk about that, but it's really, really great to have somebody on here that we can use as an example, and I can't think of a better one. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Joey, what a plug, dude.
Woo!
You are really
Joey's
coming
cool.
along. Yeah, look at him with the technology, man. Pulling that. This is a live show, Matt. Like, this is live, and Joey's doing this right on the spot.
Man,
I'm
let me
watching it on YouTube right now. Like, I have the live stream going.
Yeah, you look great on there, man. You're very handsome.
I love that. Yeah, let me tell you. I mean, we got to wrap this, but you talked about earlier. You started when you were 5. Man, I didn't start when I was 5, but I felt like a 5-year-old when I started.
Yeah.
if that's a better way to put it.
That's when you know you're doing it right. If you feel like a 5-year-old, you're good.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
I
That's
was
right.
like, I had no clue what I was doing, no clue. And Matt Deering coached me through all this and believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. That's the only reason that I am where I am. So same as you, I'm very thankful to this place and to be a part of it, for sure.
Oh, thank you, Joey. And I can say I agree with you, Matt. I think we got to keep that 5-year-old mentality. We got to keep that curiosity mentality and that humble mentality. And if you don't feel like a 5-year-old, you're probably not pushing yourself enough. You know, like you should feel a little out of control. Like we just had a big fail, in our opinion, on our last Chaos show, because we went live with it and it was great. It was a fun show and all that, but there was an audio issue last minute, and it was one of our microphones, and so it turned out that we had one mic off, which was fine. It was mine, and I can project, and so like you could hear it, but it threw us off like mentally. So it was a good show, not as good as it could have been. And so we look at that, and honestly, like right before the show, I've done thousands of shows, I felt like a 5-year-old. That's a good thing. That means we're growing. That means like we're uncomfortable, and when you're uncomfortable and you're failing, you're falling on your face. That's the only way to get stronger. Period. So so I embrace that stuff. I think it's a great mentality to have.
Well, listen, guys, you guys helped me out a lot, and one of the things I want to say too is like, I do have like some concepts of like pitches that I'm writing that I plan on doing, especially once some of this stuff eases up. But I have a show that I want to pitch that I'll talk to you guys about it later. But it would be dope to like come to the studio and see how we can collab on this, shooting the pilot or whatever to pitch it.
Nice.
So.
And we got a show idea too that we'll pitch having you on our show too. So we'll go back and forth.
Let's make it happen.
Woo! Yes.
Yeah, listen, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a marriage made in heaven here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Mornings with Matt, the Deering Acting Studio podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Help us spread this light-driven content to the planet. Thank you. God bless.
Tell them to comment too.
Yeah, comment.
Ask you questions.
Like, comment.
Comment and ask questions. You see that? This boy was like,
Yeah.
I'll respond to questions.
Connect with us.
Wow.
You got to if you reach out to us, we'll reach back to you. As a matter of fact, what we want to hear about is how do we get better. So you tell us what are the things you love? What are the things about the show you want to see more of? Do you want to see more of Joey eating? Maybe you do. If that's what you want to see, tell us, and we will do a whole segment on just that.
Somebody please say that you want to get rid of the segment where Matt says I'm single because it's getting really out of hand.
Are you
single?
single?
We forget Joey's single. Did
Are
you
you
guys
really
know
single?
that Joey Sweeney is single?
Shut up.
I walked right into that.
You
I
did.
knew
We
it was
almost
coming,
missed it.
But here's the thing. I walked right into that in the hopes that our audience would be like, all right, it's ended.
No, there's no way that's happening.
It boggles my mind this guy can be single. I mean, he's so handsome. It's just like, it's unbelievable. He
Don't let him play you.
He shares
not single.
the dimples you got. I know, right?
Right? It's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh, man.
All right. Thank you, bro. God bless everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, guys. All right, take care.
Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.
Have a champy day, everybody.